It's Sunday. Look who's here to show off her hair. Hey, it's Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts. And under that mane of hair is my good friend and yours, Becky, the Sassy Frog Vintage. How are you, Bex?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great. Look at that hair. I will never not be jealous. Look, I got a good bald head, but I had an awesome mane of hair at one point with awesome mohawks. And so when I see yours, I'm like,
I've seen pictures of your awesome hair, and it was awesome.
Yeah, no kidding. It was. But Mother Nature really early said, no more. I've not had a haircut in 27 years.
I bet Buzz is really happy about that.
Yeah. I heard Frank go there today. I got to get my hair cut. And I just thought that moment, I go, now that's a sentence I hadn't thought about in 27 years. All right, but enough about my bald head and Becky's awesome hair. Who do we have with us today? Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. And our guests this evening are Thor and Melissa, although the names are switched. Melissa is the one in the cute pink hat. How are you guys?
Great.
Doing well.
Thor and Melissa were nice enough to pick me up a tiki bowl and ship it to me, and they've started their YouTube career, and they made a video out of packing it, and I had some thoughts on their packaging, and so I thought, well, instead of just like having a one-on-one, let's talk about shipping breakables. And so what we're going to do is after Becky and I do our segments, the Thor and Melissa made a 15-16 minute video, but I shrunk it down with a little bit of speed to 7 minutes. So we'll watch them pack it, and then Stacy will be here by that point, and we're going to unpack it. And did the rare bowl get to us in one piece? And more importantly, how long will it take Stacy to open it? Because when you see the video, that will make more sense. So thanks for being on. Sit back and relax, and we'll see you guys in a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Stacy might have to tell Stacy to bring a chainsaw over. All right, let's get right into it. Becky and I got a bunch of fun stuff. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Was your response, oh God, that we got a bunch of fun stuff to share?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it was like, oh my God, we have so much fun stuff to share.
Okay.
Like this awesome cowboy hat I got for like $1. I don't even, it was a Becky buck.
Hey, Thor, Melissa, I'm bringing you back on for a second. So I forgot to do Tiki Talk. I'm like, what happened? I'm so out of practice. Okay, so Thor and Melissa live in the Portland area, and the Tiki bar they got the bowl for me is a bar called Hale Pele. So it seemed very fitting that I drank out of a Hale Pele mug. And this is a first. This is a first. There is only water in here because I was at Frankie's all afternoon, and I really don't need any more rum right now. I am so full of rum. I just have first time ever I put water in my cup. First time ever.
Wow.
So I love you guys, but yeah, I don't need no more rum.
We got you.
That's okay.
What are you drinking tonight, Beck?
Well, I have this fancy Waterloo sparkling water and the flavor of spiced apple in honor of not cold, warm weather. Because I still have my air conditioning on. It's still in the 90s, almost hundreds here. It's ridiculous.
You guys drinking anything, Thor and Melissa?
No, I'm mostly drinking water these days because I'm
right.
down 15 pounds. And
Good job, and cheers.
Yay.
To you. Okay,
Cheers.
Now I'm taking you back out. Like
okay.
I'm so from Frankie's. I'm like, I should probably do the segments the right way. Did you say this was Bret Michaels' hat? Did you say, is that what you said?
I did not say it was Bret Michaels' hat, but it does look like Bret. They actually have one that was Bret Michaels' hat.
Nice.
So, I got it for like $1 and picked it up, and it sold pretty quickly. So I was happy with that. I got a huge stack of these Ralph Lauren Mandarin salad plates at an estate sale, and like I had a huge pile. And since I knew the guy, he gave me a really good deal on all the stuff. So, these plates were basically profit. I sold 2 sets of 4 that had butterflies on them, and then the last 4 that I had were just the regular ones with no butterfly. I can sell these all day long for $48 a piece. So
Nice.
I've more than made back what I paid for all the stuff that I got that day.
Woohoo!
I
Cutco. If you don't know, find Cutco knife blocks in your thrift store.
I love this thing. When I saw it, I saw it in the estate sale ad, and I had to go do hair, and it was a 30-minute drive to my gig, but I was like, I left early so I could go to the estate sale first. Everything was half off, and I think I paid $40 for it, 40 or 50. I think it was marked like 100, 125. So I paid like 40, $50 ish for it. And I sold it for, I took a best offer, 215. Free, and I did offer free shipping on it, but I still make a profit. And she got it lickety split, and she already left me good feedback.
And so, in case people are new to this, there is no knives here for that 215. It's
No.
just the block.
It's just the block. I'm still dumbfounded. And then, somebody wanted to eat their steaks restaurant style. So they got this Western Sizzling Steakhouse. I spotted this in Goodwill for, I think it was marked $1.50. And when I looked up comps really quick at the store, they were selling for 30, 40. I think one even sold for 50. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm taking that one home with me. So off she went.
I love it. All right. Speaking of old stuff, how about this pimp grandfather suit?
That is pimping.
So it is. Where's the tag? There we go. Kuppenheimer, and it's polyester. Had a few stains, but I got it cheap, like $8. And I'm like, all right, someone's gonna buy this, and it's sold so fast for $56. I still think I priced it right based on they're going to have to do some cleaning. If it had been a darker material, no one would notice. But light blue with some food from 1962 tends to stick out a little bit. But
my dad had a beige one that he wore a lot.
All right, so I know we talk tiki mugs all the time, but there's a lot of pop culture tiki mugs, and some come out in limited spurts. So this is one of those. It's the Millennium Falcon. And then it's got a little miniature Chewbacca and Han Solo that sits, that you do your shots. And then there's actually not a mug, it's a bowl. But when they come out, they're like $125. And then I buy a couple and they sell out. And then I sit on a couple. And then when no one's really selling any, I throw one up. And this one sold for $231. And you'll see it in a upcoming segment where it went. Hint,
I love it. That's awesome.
Okay, so you saw me and Stacy do a haul a couple weeks ago, and in the haul, I bought a bunch of junk lots from an estate sale, and this was in one of the junk lots. Now, for the whole estate sale, I paid like $80, maybe even less, $60 for a bunch of junk lots. This is one of the miniature bottles I told you to keep your eyes out. Sold like that, and as you can see, there was 2 sold. They went to the same person, so someone gave me $176 plus shipping and tax. I don't get the tax, obviously, for 2 empty bottles of booze, small bottles of booze.
That's insane. That's right. You had 2 of them, right?
Yep. So they wanted both right away. So plenty of empty bottles are collectible. Not all bottles, but I paid, when you figure it all out, I probably paid maybe a nickel for each of these.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's $176. Boom.
I love it. It's so rad.
And then my last score, I picked these up at a different estate sale. These are from the Bombay company. They're called Butlers. Now, this guy is usually worth $400 to $500. Somehow, right before I got mine, someone got $1,400. And I don't know how, because that's not what they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, look, anytime you see a price take a leap and you got that item, try and match it, go a little higher. So I threw it up there for $2,000, kept running sales. So it was around $1,500. And I kept getting these $200 and $300 offers. Now I paid $70, but I was looking for at least $500. And one person kept offering me $500 over and over and over. And I finally said, I'll do it for $6. And they bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he went to a new home for $600. So
nice.
Bombay Butlers. That's what you want to keep your eyes open for. I got like 7 more to list. So
excellent.
Should be a successful fall with all my Bombay Butlers. And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. Beck, this is one of those that I picked it up, but I'm like, this ain't gonna sell. But it was cheap. Maybe a quarter, maybe a Peggy quarter. The soundtrack to the movie Pecos Bill, which I don't even know that movie, but the music's by Ry Cooder, and then it's narrated by Robin Williams.
I know that movie. I want to say that I've seen it, but I can't recall.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but
I know I've heard of it.
it's not common, especially on cassette. So I threw it out there and I got $25. So, you know, even stabs in the dark sometimes turn out to be really good return. So Peggy quarter into $25.
I did sell a cassette. I don't think I sent it off though. It was a
not.
Herb Alpert, and I just sent the other piece of music that I sold. But yeah, I sold a CD for $9 over the weekend. Yeah, a cassette.
See. I was talking. I bumped my own button. I said, see, cassettes are selling everywhere. Okay, I didn't want to show the picture of what this is yet because this is kind of cool. This is a 10-inch Police Don't Stand So Close to Me single on vinyl. But what's cool is it's shaped like a badge.
That's cool. I've never seen one of those before.
And these are all cut out. So the sucker is not round. It is this shape right here.
Wow. I wonder where the group where do the groups start to play the song?
So the grooves start right here.
Gotcha.
So they're around right there. And they released 3 of these, and they're 3 different badges. So, you know, it's not a big sale, but I only paid like $3-4 for it. And every time I see them cheap enough, I grab them, and they're always good returns.
That's cool. I'll start listening to it.
And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. All right, so this is Becky's, and here's my opening question. Why is your opening picture just the booklet?
I don't know.
I really expected for you to be like, well, here's my thought process to that. And then I don't know. So here it is, because it's a special case. And that's why it's weird that you just led with just the booklet. So it's a special shaped case. It looks like a CD. It is a DVD audio that has to be played on a DVD player. And holy shit, Beck, $75.
Yeah. $75. And it's probably because I kept getting glare, but I'm like, oh yeah, that's why. I'm a ding dong sometimes. Welcome to my life. My cat's like, what the hell's wrong with you? That's why my hair is like this.
So what'd you pay for this?
I scored a pretty sweet deal on all the music that was in this guy's house. I think I paid $60 for about 300 or 400 pieces of pieces of music. Yeah, I went back.
That sounds like it works out to a Peggy quarter.
About a Peggy quarter, if that. So, yeah.
We got it looks like a black poly mailer. It looks like a black poly mailer that got run over.
No, they're off to Never Never Land. That's where they're going.
But you did get great feedback, and this is not even our feedback segment.
I did. That's the feedback I got from him.
Yeah, so you know, when you sell music and you kind of have to grade it, I mean, you got to grade it, and the customer's happy, you have won the lotto at that point.
Yes.
Okay, this is the rare bootlegs that are allowed to be sold. They're called Dick's Picks. If you don't know the Grateful Dead, I don't know what Dick's full name was, but he would record their shows, and then over the years, the Grateful Dead actually bought the shows, licensed shows, whatever, stole the shows from them. I don't know. But they released them. And so there are bootlegs or just live concerts, but there's so many of them, and they're usually worth at minimum $50 or more. Mm-hmm. So this one, I took a best offer of $70, and I picked it up for $19.99.
Sweet. That's
now, are you impressed by 70?
I'm always impressed by 70, but I know you can do better.
Do you want to see more?
I want to see more. I want to see more, bigger. Jason.
How about the Passion of the Christ soundtrack, which I did pay $25 for, but then I sold it for $95 on Discogs, which has the smallest fees. So I got the best return. And again, Amoeba Records was nice enough to tell me it was out of print, nice enough to sell me a sealed one. And I was happy enough to get $95, but that's not the best, Beck. We're going higher.
Oh, gee, I don't know if I can handle it.
Do you believe?
My hair believes. Look how high it is.
All right. Tool. This was right at the moment in time when there was still VHS, and we had brought out DVDs. So this box set, you could buy one of two ways back in the day. VHS, because there's a CD and a video in it. So VHS or DVD. This is the VHS, and it was in not the best condition, and I still got $120 for it.
That's
so if you find this in good condition, you're getting at least $200. It's called Salival, and it is by Tool.
Well, I just hear the Midwestern mom say, "Who's Toot? Who's Toot? Why are my kids listening to Toot?"
Now, that's not even the best. How about some Olivia Newton-John? Now, we all know
nice.
she passed recently, and this was a rare one. And this was a Thrifty encounter a while back. I was in Salt Lake City with Stephanie Canada, and the woman in front of me was looking at the Just In rack, and she pulled this CD up, and she goes, "Who's going to buy a CD for $20?" And she shook it at me. I go, "Oh, I don't think anybody." Using the force for her to put it back because I knew it wasn't out of print. Olivia, she put it back, and the second her hand was off it, mine was there to grab it back, and she just looked at me and went, put it in my cart and walked away. But once I had this on Amazon, once Olivia passed, I bumped it over to eBay and Discogs. I had it on all three places at a premium price, and it sold on eBay for $120.
Love it.
If you don't believe by now that Tool and Olivia Newton-John can live in harmony, you'll never believe.
They live in Never Never Land with Metallica.
And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Ugh, this thing. I love this set. I've had it up for 2 years, and I thought it would sell very quickly, and it has not. I have thought about separating it and selling the creamer and sugars things set together, and then just the teapot by itself. If anyone is interested, send me an offer, and
yes,
put in that you saw it on the Thrifting, the Thrifty Business Show, and I'll take your offer. Oh, you stupid.
How do you ship albums off fear of breaking them? In an album mailer. There are things called album mailers. They are perfect for vinyl. And Becky, Debbie, you sent me a message and you missed a few words. Can you resend that message with the right words? Thank you. Debbie, I don't know what you meant.
Maybe she should be cut off from the realm. This poor lonely I love you bear really wants to be at home with you. So I've had him up for 3 years. I'm getting into the Debbie numbers.
Oh, you sure are getting the Debbie numbers.
Yeah. So
all right.
Again, I'll take
BB Baxter. There it is.
Yep.
Oh, there are viewers from Scotland. All right, cool. I will find them. All right. Now, I bought this sport coat for $7, Becky, and I sold it for $48.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought this sport coat for $20 and sold it for $125. So you might be asking yourself right now, Becky, you might be saying, well, how the hell are these duds?
Yes, I'm thinking.
They both sold last week, and they're both on their way back in returns.
Oh, for F's sake.
This one, he didn't like how it fit. And this is such a bitchin' vintage leather coat. I mean, it's just sweet. And this guy got mad at me because I didn't say it was short. So, in case you're not a man, this S in the 42 means short. Every person who wears a suit knows that. Here's the jacket length, short right here. Here's the S yet again. And he goes, you didn't say it was short.
Pretty sure
those are the kind of returns that piss me off. The leather jacket, it didn't fit the way he likes it. That's no biggie. But this guy telling me I didn't tell him it was short. I got it everywhere.
Yeah.
What more could I do? Now, I am going to write shorten the title for those that can't read real well for the next go around. Hello, Tam and Belle from Scotland. What time is it in Scotland right now?
Oh yeah, hello.
Oh, but don't not sell clothes because of that, because guess what? I'm going to turn around and sell this for $150 next time. It'll make up for the return. And I only spent $20 on it. That's why we sell clothes, because there is a great return in clothes.
Yes, and I know somebody's going to want that for Halloween.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
Somebody's going to want it.
Oops, wrong button. I was waiting for the thing to start, and there. And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers.
Dun, 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 dun.
What's that? How do you pronounce that?
Lascaux.
And what country is that?
Poland.
Poland.
Yes.
Build-A-Bear, Poland. Now, we share the segment because people all over the world need our stuff. Right next door to Poland would be Austria. And there's Eggendorf, and that's where the Star Wars Tiki Bowl went.
That's adorable.
So someone in Austria needed a Tiki Bowl. Someone in Poland needed a Build-A-Bear. That's why you should sell everywhere in the world, because people want the cool shit that we get in the United States.
For sure. I love doing international sales. I love it.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Well, the good news is on Pirate Ship, the holiday increase will not apply to priority mail shipments within the lower 48 states. So I think everybody's figured out that post office is jacking up the prices. It happens every year. But I looked through my emails and found that Pirate Ship is still going to keep us at a lower rate. So if you are not using Pirate Ship for your regular mail and for your international mail, I can't help you anymore.
If you're watching the show, if you're in the Thrifting board, if you're in the Secret Beach and you're not on Pirate Ship yet, I don't know what you're waiting for, because you're paying the man more money than you have to. And up until this moment, what we did, because of they have what's called a cubic, Zoe would have to check if it was a priority package, both places, just to double check. It's a quick check. But now they're going to absorb the increase. They're going to let us keep our prices the same. Hallelujah. So that means starting October 2nd, every priority package will be going through Pirate Ship now.
For sure.
Which is good with me, because I got my rewards credit card on there, so I get all my air miles. You know, I love it.
Yay. That means you can buy a ticket for me to come visit you. Okay.
Speaking of Zoe, we have had a few little hiccups with UPS saying our packages weren't exactly the size they say they were. So on bigger and odder things, I've started to take pictures of Zoe holding the tape measure up. Nice. So if they do come back, I've got the proof. So I've argued a few and won without much proof, but sometimes I'll say, if you got anything you want to add. So I'm not going to do it on an 8x8x8. That's for sure, because that won't ever get mistaked. But this giant box that the monkey butler went in, we got the measurements just in case they say anything different. Nice.
That's good.
Yep. So just on the weird ones, take your pictures.
Yes. Yeah.
And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing. I keep cutting you off on accident, but
that's okay. Ooh, donuts. Donuts. Well, that's not my thrifty tip of the week, although you deserve a donut after you shop.
Wait, so what's your thrifty tip?
Make friends with your estate sale people.
That's it. Give them donuts.
Yeah, give them. Okay, well then that's okay. Give them donuts.
That's Debbie's interpretation. It's always a test. You give the tip, Debbie comes up with the artwork.
Exactly. Yes, I take them special stuff, tell them stories. I mean, I make friends with a lot of the other employees, that not just the owners of the estate sale companies, but the people that work for them. Because I met a lady who works not for just one person, but several other estate companies when she's available. So she knows what my niche is. She knows what what I'm looking for. And if I tell her that I'm like, okay, I'm looking for some Mary Englebright stuff, can let me know at the next sale. Or I need these Pyrex bowls, let me know at the next sale. And she shops for me. She tries to get me to get, she's like, oh my God, you're going to love this. Here, take that. You need to have that. You need to have that. Like at some point I have to tell her, say that. No, I don't need that. But she knows what I'm looking for now. And we've become really good friends. And she'll text me when she sees something that she knows that I'm going to want. So make friends with the employees at the estate sales.
Yeah, mine calls me and sends me on things now too. So it's good. Okay, you remember this toolbox that we just talked about?
The toolbox, yes.
It was one of the rare times I was in Hollywood by myself, meaning no Stacy, and my back and my hips were really bad that day.
Oh.
And I'm standing there, and we've all got that thrifting sense, that sixth sense, that spidey sense, that woman's intuition, whatever it is. And I'm standing there looking at the underneath, and I go, I feel there is something good under there. I just know it. And I go, getting down's easy. It's getting back up for me. That's the tricky part. So I get down there, and that toolbox set was the last thing in the back for $40. And I sold it on Amazon. Amazon's fees are higher, but I cleared like 62 profit. So I got my ass down there because I just knew it. It was there. It was there. So when you got that feeling, run with it. I mean, look, don't be too proud to not say to somebody, can you help me up? You know?
Crawl to the cash register.
As we get older, as our body goes, haha, no. Sometimes you got to ask for help. Don't be too proud not to if you're going to get a sweet score.
Yes.
Yeah, the good stuff's always on the bottom, but usually my miniature wife is with me, and so then it's not a big deal. But that day she wasn't with me, so
I'm gonna have to start taking grabbers with me because I level up to 50 next Sunday, and I'm feeling it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ron, what's happening, buddy? And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling. That's yours. That's Debbie's interpretation of your tip.
I can never remember what I tell her. I thought I was going to remember. Don't forget to cross post. You know, always it's harder for me, but I'm looking into Vendu. I'm looking into cross list it. I actually had cross list it. I'm looking into List Perfectly. That's the way to do it. I mean, I'm having the best luck though right now with eBay. That's where I sell the most stuff right now.
And it's funny that this is your tip because just as we go live, I sold a tiki mug that was cross-posted in 3 places. So I'm like, oh shit, we're going live. I got to delete it from 2 other places real quick. But it was so weird. The universe was like, oh, Becky's going to talk about this.
Here's your reminder: cross list, but don't forget to deactivate on the other places that you've listed.
All right, check out this sweet satin Bally's jacket.
Wow.
Now, satin jackets must not be a thing because the youngster, Zoe, wrote it up. I go, what is the key word you're missing? So she's holding the jacket, looking at her titles. I go, satin. She goes, oh, what's that?
Oh my God.
So satin jackets are definitely not a thing, but that's not my tip. My tip is if it sells quick and you price it right, don't sweat it. Like this sold so fast. I told Stacey, I go, oh, we sold it for 50. And Stacey goes, that's all. And then in that split second, Stacey, who just walked in, made me think Zoe screwed up and I didn't check her work because she's pretty good. I don't check her work anymore. So quickly I go and check, and the last satin jackets were like 25 to 30 bucks for the past year. So we got the most money in the last year. So don't sweat it. Don't, doesn't hurt to double check. Maybe you did make a mistake, but if you got someone helping you, there is a point where you have to let them go and do it. Like I just can't look at the price on everything she does anymore, or there's no point of having the assistant, really.
Exactly. Yeah. Why have somebody help you if you can't trust them to make if you train them well, they're going to get the price right.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. And now it's time for Close Encounters of the Thrifty Kind. Okay, this is a quick one. It was so funny. Stacey and I were at this Zia Records in Mesa, Arizona last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. Last week. Becky, you will laugh at this. Most people will. I'm listening to 2 like 25, 24, 25, 26-year-olds talk. One is an employee and one's a customer looking for something. And I don't catch what they're looking for, but I hear the customer say to the employee, hey, look, I was a teenager in the 90s, and I'm going to just admit my guilty pleasure out loud. So what do you think a 25-year-old man who grew up in the 90s, we think his guilty pleasure was?
In sync.
Oh no, that'd be hardcore. It was John Tesh.
Stop it.
John Tesh. Oh no, Spice Girls have been okay. I heard 2 25-year-old men discuss their love of John Tesh. I'm just like, what's happening? What is happening right now?
After a good episode of Entertainment Weekly, I like to
John
pick
Tesh, I told
John
Stacey, I
Tesh.
go, that was a conversation I could have never predicted ever.
No, that's awesome.
And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season?
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
A stocking kit from Paragon. It's getting to be that time, but crafters who make stuff, they're gonna start making their stuff right now.
Yes, John Tesh was a hot ticket back in the day, but not for teenage boys. 90s was all about rap metal. I mean, yeah. But look, I'm a Spice Girls fan, so I can appreciate anyone who out loud says what their guilty pleasure is. I'm cool with that. We're getting into the point where, back though, we can't even use Christmas as out of season anymore because especially something like this, whoever bought it needs time to make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
they're starting to think about it.
I could say, hey, these CDs I sold in the last week of August for Christmas would be my out of season, but how about this one? I think this wins. We've had times where the day after the holiday we sell something. This wins. This was also from that same junk pile. It's a Mary Engelbright thing, but it's from 2000, the millennium. You can't be much more out of season by about 22 years. And I really didn't think anybody would want this, but when I did the research, when I did the haul on this, I'm like, wait, people buy this? Because most millennium stuff just don't sell anymore. No one cares. The millennium was a bigger deal in the moment leading up to it than it ever really was.
Yes.
And so, but yeah, someone still wants Millennium 2000 stuff from Mary Engelbright. So there you go.
Mary Engelbright sells.
Yep. And that's kind of new to me. So it's a good way to be introduced to it by making $28 on a Peggy quarter item. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week.
I love this bottle, and I'm so glad that I got this type of feedback. And I'm hearing myself, so I don't know how to fix that.
It'll go away in a second. I never hear the echo, which is weird.
Okay.
But you'll hear it, and the audience will hear it, but I never hear it.
Okay. I bought this bottle for maybe $1, maybe $2, and sold it for $35. I did a 30% off sale. My goal was to sell coffee mugs, but of course I added other things into the sale that I had over Labor Day weekend. And to get that type of feedback was that made my heart happy for sure.
Especially with a fragile thing and a long thing like this too.
Yeah. I that always have pool noodles on hand. And if you don't have pool noodles, get some plumbing insulation from Home Depot or Lowe's.
And we're going to talk about that coming up as soon as we get our guests in here. So stay tuned on that, Elisa.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to talk about specific feedback because I crossed 20,000 this week. Yay. And then it was a little bit of a boo because I thought I got a new color star at 20,000. Ha, not till 25. So I was ready for my new color. And I go, why didn't it change? Oh, poop. 25,000. Nice color. But still, 20,000 is an amazing accomplishment. It's a lot of hard work. And so even if you're new to this, let that be your goal. And I got 5 more since I started prepping this week. So, and I got a lot of good ones. This was a customer who we talked about 2 episodes ago where I forgot to send him. Which one is it? I forgot to send him a piece of his order. And of course he had to be in England. And I said, my bad. And I sent it to him and he left me glowing feedback on that one and said, I'm going to buy more at the end of the month. And he did. And here's his feedback. And he's looking for a tiki mug. And I didn't have the one he wanted, but I had a small version of it. So I threw that in there as a gift, as a kind of sorry, I screwed up your first order. And he loved it. So he's a customer now for life.
Yep. Exactly.
So let everyone get your 20,000 and let us know when you do. And let's show it off. We're all going to get there. All right. Quick housekeeping. Then we'll get our guests in here and see if the mug made the journey all the way to Nevada in one piece. And then the real test, can Stacey get it open before the end of the show? Because I've seen how it's packed and you'll see how it's packed. If you're looking for Becky, where can they find you?
They can find me on eBay, Sassy Frog Vintage, or look up BB Baxter. I'm also Sassy Frog Vintage on Poshmark and Mercari. I'm BB Vintage ATX on Etsy because I haven't been able to change that yet. But
Sons of bitches.
Sassy Frog, I know, right? Sassy Frogs.
All right. If you haven't watched the how-to show from Thursday, check it out. A bunch of people ended up changing their handling to the same day. If you can't do it, no biggie. But you also can see how you bulk edit. So just in case you've never bulk edited, even if you don't want to change your handling, watch that. I'll show you how to bulk edit. It's pretty easy once you know. And then Stacy and I had a fun haul a week ago. And my honey is joined us. She's right there. Hi, honey. And so we showed a lot of bolos. So if you didn't see that episode, go back and watch that. And then if you're in the Phoenix area, I'm vending at a brand new tiki event called the Superstition Village Tiki Marketplace on September 24th from 10 to 5. It is a free event, except for if you want to take my symposium about tiki and the mob. It's the only thing that's going to cost you money. But it is 25 vendors, shave ice, live music, hula dancers, DJs, bands, tiki carvers, all kinds of stuff. It's in the Mesa Queen Creek area. So please spread the love to your friends in the Phoenix area. Tell them to come on down. And where is my artwork that I already made for me and my mom? Hold please. Hold please. There it is. I made the artwork and I forgot to actually upload it. So my mom gets a call. So when we were growing up, our next door neighbors' last names were the Stebnickis, and they had 5 children. And there was a daughter 1 year older than me. And that daughter called my mom recently and said, hey, I'm cleaning out my folks' house. There's a lot of stuff in the attic. With 5 kids, that would happen. See if there's anything worth any money. And so here's the first haul from our neighbor's attic. And there's a bunch of cool stuff. So next week is going to be what's in your neighbor's attic. Have you ever asked what's in your neighbor's attic? So we'll talk about that next week. But this week, let's talk about Thor and Melissa. Oh, there it is. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Oh, I have just failed miserably. Go away. Go away.
Cool.
Go away. Hey, there they are. Much better. I said to Thor and Melissa, Becky, I go, hey, you got a picture of you guys shipping or anything? And they're like, no, but we can come up with something. This showed up 3 seconds later. It's like they were waiting for me to say, can you go take a funny picture?
This is what it looks like all the time.
Yeah, he wraps me in bubble wrap all the time.
The king and queen of breakables. I love it.
So speaking of breakables, you have one of those there, right, guys?
Yeah.
Let's remove this for a second. We'll make you guys big. So here is the tiki bowl. And that looks like the front of Holly Paley, and they built it into a volcano. Mm-hmm. And so they had to get it to me. Now, if you're new, you don't know, I collect tiki mugs and tiki bowls. And so when friends are able to pick up something or find something, then it's that stress of mailing me a tiki mug because you don't want to end up on the show in the here's what not to do category. And there's an admin in the chat right now. I will not say the exact name, but I have parts of mugs because they didn't get sent too well. So it happens to everybody, but let's hope it doesn't happen to them. Okay, so Thor and Melissa made a video for their YouTube channel, which I'll show you guys in a minute. And it was 15 minutes. I would recommend watching the whole thing. Thor is a very good educator in terms of this is what I'm doing and here's how I'm doing it. I wanted to quicken it up. So we got 7 minutes. You can see them going from holding the mug to here it is. So sit back, relax, and we'll see you guys back here in 7 minutes.
Welcome to Shipping 101, a special edition. We've got a Halle Pele tiki mug that we are actually shipping to Jason Smith at the Thrifting board. We're acquainted with him. We've met him a couple of times. We know he's a big tiki fan. And so we were up here in near Portland, Oregon, and that's where Halle Pele, the bar is. And we bought tiki mugs that we could send that to him. You can see this is a really nice piece. And so we're going to go ahead and get this ready for packaging. So we got to do an extra special job, right? Jason's not only a great guy, an acquaintance. He's been very helpful to a lot of us in the thrifting community. So we want to make sure we do the extra special job here. The first thing I'm going to do, you can see this mug is actually kind of a little bit awkward. It's a volcano. We have here kind of an indentation where we have kind of the front of the Halle Pele bar. I'm just going to take a piece of pool noodle and put it in there to kind of provide an extra structure, a flat place. So when we go to wrap it, it'll be flatter, make it a little bit easier.
I popped this back in because I am going to ask 2 questions. So as it goes along, I am going to ask 2 questions. I forgot all about that. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get us in here.
Easier to wrap. And now we're going to put in here in the cavity itself, we're going to put in an air pillow. Now this is an air pillow. It's a sealed air pillow. I know it looks flat right now, but this little tab here allows us to take, and this is a machine that you can get if you're not, if you can't afford the $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 bubble air pillow machine, which we can't right now. We put this in, and we put in this tool. It's about 149 bucks, and you fill it up like that, and there you can see that has created an air pillow right in the cavity. Just really nice. It's formed itself to the cavity. Jason, all you have to do is pop it, pull it out, and that's how we're going to do that.
Okay, I've never seen that before, so loved seeing something new in your video. I'm like, where's that been all my life?
Yeah, that's more affordable for me and my scale.
Yes.
Bought it at Uline.
Okay.
And then you can buy the boxes of the flat
the pillows.
Now, I will add though, these modern mugs, actually putting that air pillow in there doesn't do anything in terms of physics. So you didn't actually need to do it. The only time some of the older mugs are thin, but these rock solid mugs and bowls, they didn't really do anything. I mean, it's nice. It looks good. It's good presentation for the customer, but it really didn't do anything. So just as a heads up.
You can also use that to help create a more flat surface.
That too, yeah.
When you're wrapping it, it helps with that sometimes.
Use my 5/16 bubble, which is the big bubble wrap. And we're going to go ahead and just do a quick couple of sheets around the top of the volcano, like that. Jason, I'm gonna dub this one Mount St. Helens for you. So that's a volcano that we can see from up here in the northwest.
Okay, so now we'll speed it up. It's funny you said you should say Mount St. Helens, because I'm going to show you guys the bowl from the Halle Pele anniversary 4 years ago. And it was actually, they made the bowl out of Mount Hood, which is also in that area.
And now we have the first layer of packaging there. Once again, because this one is so special, we're going to get some pool noodle to wrap around the base to protect that base from any kind of impact. And you can see that we're just doing that right here, right now. I got that one a little long right there. I'm going to have it kind of overlap where the pool noodle is on the doors.
Yeah, if you don't have pool noodles in your shipping department at any given point, you're really missing out on one of the best shipping tools of all time.
We usually have 2 boxes of them. We go to the dollar store and buy them. They used to be $1 each. Now they're $1.25 each. But we buy them by the box, or we'll buy them online and have them shipped to our local store for pickup.
Yep. Last time I bought by the box at Five Below, she was like, "You want them all?"
I like you, Jason. I'm going to do an extra job here for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 2 more along these edges to protect it, so that in order to get to the mug itself, you're going to have to literally go through a case of pool noodle. We're building a case of pool noodle around it. And if you just...
So Stacey, ready to get rid of a case of pool? Stacey's going to be the opener. Now, you are building a phenomenally padded.
Don't ever worry about having too much packaging. Don't ever worry about putting too much tape on. Your customer may complain a little bit that they had to cut through things, but I'd rather them complain about a well-packaged, well-secured, safe delivery than the fact that it got to them and it was shattered. So, ply. There.
So, two things on that. There is never enough tape. That's no thing. But there is overpacking, especially on older, more fragile items.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep that in mind. I've had things that look like they're packed well, but ended up crushing it because there was so much tightness pulled around it with the tape and the pool noodles that ended up just crushing the item. Whereas if they would have packed it looser, it actually would have been better. And then one quick tip for you, Thorpe, when you're making the videos, make sure you keep the item in the shot. I watch a lot of your videos, which I really like, but you keep holding it higher, and all I'm seeing is your knuckles.
Well, that's what everybody wants to see, right?
Thor's knuckles.
There is a piece of foam for the inside of that box.
Question about the
and we're going to take that piece and we're going to set it right in there. I'm going to grab a couple of pieces of cardboard and put them in the corners so that we can just fold these down. Remember, fold them into triangles. There we go. Got a nice triangle there. And put that in the corner. That's going to help secure it into place. Got another one here. We're going to fold that into a triangle and secure it on the other side.
Okay, I've never done the triangle thing, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What an amazing tip. Thank you guys very much. That alone, I was like, that's so cool.
You can use that instead. Sometimes I will use pool noodles in each corner as well.
Yeah,
we do that too.
Better. I like that better.
All right, so here's my $1 million question. At this point, you've got it really secured, wrapped nicely. You've got it locked into the place because you made those triangle cardboards. But now you're adding pool noodles and foam and more pool noodles. Why not just fill with peanuts and tape it up and call it a day?
We don't have peanuts here.
What? I hate peanuts.
Yeah, if I get a package with peanuts in it, I will send it back to the person.
I hate packing peanuts.
Wow, I mean,
now
you guys packed it well, but it's just so much more work.
Mm-hmm.
We've done it for so long this way that it's for us. It's just, and he could have cut the box down by an inch if need be too, and fold it down, just the way we do it. But I have detested packing peanuts my whole life. I hate opening a box with those things and they get everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
All right. So we got Thor talking again. Here we go.
18-inch piece of hot tape.
My hot tape machine.
To get that. Actually, Jason was there. The hot tape machine we won at eBay Open when they used to have it in person down in Vegas. And Jason was there when I won that hot tape machine. So Jason, there you go. That's that hot tape machine that I won. You can hear that this is really well packed. It is solid. There is nothing moving in it. And that is exactly how we want to pack that special piece for Jason. We hope this was instructive. And Jason, it's coming for you. Hope you enjoy it.
And here it is.
Welcome to shipping.
Nope. Done with that. Okay, so if you want to see the full video without me speeding it up and edits, Zarmazing Treasures. They got a bunch of videos about packing, and like I said, real good thought out how we're doing this. So great packing tips. So definitely please give them a follow. And now we shall see how it looks. So my lovely assistant Stacy has come over to open it up. So yeah, I was like, why don't they just put peanuts in and call it a day? But you don't like peanuts. Makes sense. But the good thing is I got good packing material from you guys. So
Yeah.
pool noodles,
I'm
foam,
a little jealous. All that stuff.
pillows.
The bed foam, we just go to Walmart, and it's the cheap. We get the twin size, because the queen size is just too big to cut. So we just get the twin size. Thor just went and bought like 4 more packages of it.
Oh, that's just bed foam that you used?
It's that cheap eggshell.
1 1/4 inch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do it this way, since there are different zones, you just measure from one zone to the next, and then you can cut pretty straight right across.
Because it has like zigzags, so you
Yeah.
stay between one zigzag.
And so it's really easy to do.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
What'd you say?
Damn these Packers.
You know, I got while Stacey's unpacking, I got a tiki mug from a member of the thrifting board, and Stacey watched me unpack it. We were just at home, and I got out of the box, and I cut into the bubble wrap, and I peeled it back, and there was a different size of bubble wrap underneath that, so I cut into that, peeled it back, and now it's surrounded by a shopping bag, like the plastic kind.
Oh, no.
So I peel that off. Inside is another round of bubble wrap, and I message them. I go, way too much bubble wrap. Oh, I like this.
That's a great hat.
I like this a lot.
That's your volcano hat there. That's a tiki hat.
So while she's opening that, here's the bowl from 4 years ago. They did Mountain Hood in the bowl.
Holy
Wow.
cow, that is
Nice.
gorgeous.
Yeah, we can see Mount Hood out from our house some
Yeah.
days.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So I have to tell you the best review we've got from our shipping, Jason.
Yeah.
It was something breakable.
It wasn't.
And the lady who got it said that it was basically thrown over their fence down a 6-foot embankment. The box was destroyed, but everything inside was great.
There you go.
Nice.
Look at that.
I feel so much better knowing you got that safely.
Yes.
It's so crazy how light this feels after picking up this monster.
Yeah.
That sucker weighs a ton. This don't weigh much.
Wow.
No, they're not really. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So thank you guys. Good job. But the one thing, in case you didn't notice, where's that little piece that was in here? I just want to reiterate. When you got something odd shaped like Thor showed, you get a little piece of foam or bubble or whatever in there, and then it makes it the same shape all the way around. When I ship stemmed, like champagne flutes or wine glasses, I wrap a little bit of bubble around the stem first, then it's as wide as the glass, then we wrap it up.
Yeah.
So that
I
way,
think we have a wine glass video up or a wine glass video going up.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the pool noodles, you clip one side and you just fit that right onto the stem. And now you have this really nice cylinder that you can just roll in bubble wrap.
Mm-hmm.
see, now I'm glad you did use some. Look at this. I got this fun new hat. I am.
Yeah.
I'm like a cat right now. I'm like, this is fun. I like it.
Or one of those those light bulb fish. What
Yeah.
are they called?
Oh, yeah. those
Angelfish.
things.
Yeah.
Anglerfish.
Angle or angel?
Anglerfish.
Anglerfish. So good job. I mean, obviously, there's no complaints. It arrived nice and neat. I got a great box. I got a lot of extra packing now. Thank you very much. And here's the thing, too. Never, ever throw any packing away. To you, this might seem small, but there's going to be that moment when you go to reach into your box of scrap pool noodles and you're like, I need something this small. And then you'll have it. I rarely ever get rid of any of even the little pieces, because there's always that moment where I've got some odd shape that I need something for.
That's
So,
like, yeah, the triangles that he folded. Those were from cut down boxes.
Mm-hmm.
We keep all of our.
so did you see that triangle trick? Or I mean, because I was just like, why have I never thought of that? Say goodbye to Stacey, everybody.
Bye, Stacey.
Bye, Stacey. Where did you?
See you on the couch, honey.
Pardon?
The triangle trick.
The triangle trick. So part of my history was in packaging manufacturing, and we did that all the time. You fold it with the flutes, because when you look at your corrugate, there's flutes within there. So you fold it with them. Provides great structure.
I can't wait. I can't wait to have something to use that tip on. I'm like, oh my God, I love that.
So would you use that instead of pool noodles?
You can.
Okay.
Yeah. We like Jason, we keep all of our scrap.
Yeah.
I mean, the stuff we're throwing away is little strips that, it's so small. But like when we cut down a box to ship a book that's only a couple inches tall, and we got a 4-inch box, and we got all that cardboard that we've cut off.
Mhm.
Those flaps are some of those things that we use, and they're just perfect. You fold them up, they'll stand up in a box because they're half the box size.
Yeah.
They're great. But I have used pool noodles along the edges. Sometimes it depends on the piece.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
All right. So the $1 million question is, Melissa, if Thor was not home, could you do all that?
Yes.
My mom would have the same answer. Yes.
Well, he typically packs the breakables. One, his hands are bigger, so he can pick up those big boxes and do the shaking on them. I also have arthritis, so it's harder to do that. So when we're packaging, I will go through and I'll do typically the bagged stuff. He'll do the glassware, but I have had to ship glassware, and I can do it if he's not here.
There, when you have a partner like you guys, my mom and my dad, yeah, there is that one partner who's better at it, but just for whatever, sick, at a job somewhere, whatever else, they're not home, and you got to ship something, you should know how to do it. And I get it. When I come from my shipping tips, it's from a guy who's 6'5", like 285. I can put some, pressure into it. Zoe does not have that pressure. She's a 20-year-old woman who's about 5'3" or 5'4", and slender. So she doesn't have the same kind of angles I have. So I know right away that on times when I'm not here, she'll get it done. But I already realize it's going to be longer. I can whip together a box for a big item a lot quicker than she can because I just have the force to be able to move things around.
right. Yeah, that's some of it too. Yep.
Yeah, my mom might be shit out of luck if my dad was away for a day and she had to ship water skis or something.
Oh God.
plus, if you watch Melissa and Thor's whole video unedited by me, you'll see a lot of times the extra set of hands comes in. Okay, while I'm doing this, please hold this in place.
Yeah.
And that helps. On days when I'm here and Zoe's shipping something weird, you get out there like, here, just put your hand here for a minute because it'll just be so much quicker.
Yeah.
Now, Becky, can you get your cats to put their paw?
The management refuses to put any type of work into. He's like, no, I'm your supervisor, and I'm just going to get in the way. I'm not helping. So. And that way he's useless unless he wants me to get into unless he wants to get in the box. He's not helping.
So what made you guys decide to start doing how-to videos on YouTube?
I think it was, I don't know what board it was on, because I'll follow some of the other boards just to see what they're saying, and some person, and if it's one of you, I apologize, I'm not really trying to make fun of you. But what they said was they shipped glass and they couldn't understand how it got there broken because they left it air to breathe.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. If you're new to packing breakables, the one thing is, and Thor showed that, if you hear any movement, air to breathe, yeah, it's going to show up broken.
I've done it. I've reopened a box. If I hear, I just did it the other day. When I picked it up and shook it, there was too much sound. I reopened the box. I added extra packing to it. Don't be afraid to do that. Just, you don't, it's so much easier not to have stuff broken and shipped back. So, yeah.
You also see the people posting in the groups of new sellers who are like, I don't know how to ship this. I don't know how to ship this. And a lot of times, not in your group, but in some of the other groups that I scroll through, people are just nasty to them. And it's like, they just need a little help.
Yeah.
And, why not help? And for somebody who asked about the air bubble machine, I can link it to the group if it's okay with Jason.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll link that, the Uline page or wherever.
When we got it, it was $149.
I got it for Thor for Christmas.
My tape machine.
You know your resellers when ...
Well, we don't know. I mean, the big in the back of that picture that we showed you, there's a big box rack, the metal box rack that has the dividers and stuff. That was a Christmas present too.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, Jason, you remember the tape machine, right? When I got
it. So we're at eBay Open, and one of the big prizes, which doesn't seem sexy, but it's the hot, that strip comes out ready to adhere to the, and you choose what size strip it is. And what's that machine cost new? Do you know?
$1,200.
Yeah.
Just for the machine.
Yeah. And they won it.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the shipping class they were giving away 5 of them because they were doing 5 shipping classes. And we weren't going to go to the shipping class because we know how to ship. I don't need you to, And Thor's like, I'm going to every one of those until I win. So we go to the first shipping class and they have you put your name in the drawing. At the end of the class, lo and behold, they drew Thor's name and he squealed like a little girl.
Yay. That he didn't have to sit through 5 classes.
And he spent the rest of eBay Open over by that booth showing everybody else how that damn machine works.
I love
I kid you not.
Like, I know how they work. We used to have one in one of the warehouses for record stores I worked in. But to see you go, I need an 18-inch, please, and it's there in a second, ready to go. I'm like, oh, I want one now too. I love that. It was just so quick and smooth. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, we won that and 12 rolls of tape. I think
the tape's gone.
Yeah, the tape is now gone. We have had to buy. We bought another case of 12 because if you're gonna, you might as well just buy 12 at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the brown tape, but
filament tape. Yep.
So besides tape and the actual item, you don't use tape on boxes at all, right?
We just use that tape on the box. Yeah.
I mean, besides the hot tape,
no.
You don't use a tape gun on the boxes.
I do.
She does.
If I'm doing a 4x4 box with a little piece of jewelry in it, I just use the regular tape gun.
But if we're doing glass, it's all of that filament tape because it is far more sturdy.
Yeah, so if they're smaller boxes, I just use regular tape.
Yeah.
So how much breakable? How many things are you shipping percentage wise? Are you selling a lot of breakables or a little bit?
A lot.
Don't you see these piles of plates?
Oh yes, I see them now.
We do a lot of glass. It depends on the week. A couple weeks ago, we had I swear, 15 breakable items.
Weird stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead, talk, babe.
We had we had one.
Excuse me for a second.
It was a centerpiece, and it was a rabbit. It was odd shaped. It's one of the videos I'm going to be putting up, and we had to come up with a way to package it because most of the time you no longer have the original packaging, and so it's all a matter of getting the odd shapes more structurally formatted so that rather than having pieces here and there and everywhere, you kind of get it all into one cohesive mass before you do it. So okay.
Yeah, I thought Emily was out there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's like you need to turn it into a boxable shape.
Exactly. Exactly. Rather than having things with going all over the place, you make it a pyramid or you make it a square, you make it an oval or whatever, and that's what does it. We have the grandkids.
Is that a closet behind you that you turned into a photo studio?
It doesn't. This room the closet didn't have doors, so I have a table, and actually, if you lift the sheet up, there's stuff in the shelving in there.
Yeah, I did the same thing. It's the perfect place for a photo studio.
And we did take your advice and buy those flat lights.
Oh, so much better.
They are so much nicer.
Plus the fact that you can work on the temperature of the light. So some things like Zoe had the wrong temperature on that suit, so we had to really edit the photos a lot to make the blue look right in the pictures. I go, you had it running too hot. You just dialed it back a smidge. We wouldn't have to do all this editing, but we have to because your pictures make it look so blown out, and we got to fix that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What? How long you guys been selling online now?
2018, January 1st, 2018.
All right.
Nice.
So just 4.5 years. Melissa made jewelry before that, and so she bought a lot of stuff off eBay. And
so I had a good 2,000 feedback before I started selling.
Yeah.
And then I lost my job in March of 2020 with COVID. I was laid off, and I haven't gone back to work since.
Just ramped it up.
Just ramped this up. We just hit 8,000 active listings the other day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, and now we're cross posting to 5 different
We've
places.
tried some of those. Becky, I remember you mentioning some of those cross-posting tools. We tried them.
Mhm.
I think we've settled on
We do list perfectly.
Okay.
Because I can go into it once I've cross-posted all of my stuff. If I sell something like on Mercari, just a
Mhm.
minute now, I can go into list perfectly and I can hit sold and it'll
take it off the other
take
side.
them off all the other sites.
Okay, that's a nice feature. Now, do you pay the premium prices or?
We do.
Okay.
Because without it, you don't have some of that functionality.
This
So,
is true. Yeah.
There's
That's
Miss
just what I'm
Mallory, our
like.
helper.
Hi, helper.
Hi.
Why?
She was just go.
So speaking of pool noodles, the long Dr. Pepper bottle that Becky shipped.
Mhm.
She so Becky's an admin in the Thrifting board. She's a frequent guest and co-host on Thrifty Business. And I said, cool, you took pictures along the way packing that up, right? She goes, oh shit, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm like, come
I
on.
know.
I should have called
I
you
know.
Peggy. My mom does the same thing. She goes, oh, we packed this TV. Where's the pictures? Oh.
I thought,
But-
yeah.
But here's the best part, though, Thor. She did get the final picture, and
Yeah.
so she missed what I called this the first time when she showed us in the admin chat. I go, hey, you got your dick and ball picture? And she goes, excuse me? I go, your box. And then she goes, oh, yes, it does look like that. I go, yeah, we talked about it. You must have missed me saying that.
I totally missed him saying
But
that.
there is pool noodles,
Yep.
kind of the same concept that you were showing with the corners of the cardboard,
Right.
thicker pieces in the corners, and then up and down the sides, wrapped fully in bubble.
Yeah.
So I know Lisa was asking, that is how Becky wrapped that bottle.
It looks
Yeah.
good. I mean, that looks like it would, the pool noodles there providing shock absorption from the side.
Yeah,
looks like-
I wasn't afraid to sell the bottle. I was just, and I knew that by the time I sold the bottle, I would figure out how to send it. And I was like, all right, how am I going to do this? And I wrapped it in a piece of tissue paper first.
Mhm.
And then I took the length of a pool noodle and left about maybe an inch on each end and slid it down the middle and nestled it in there. And then I taped it closed at the top. And then as it got to the bottom, what didn't wrap around, I just took, like you did, the length of what needed to be covered. And I sliced it in the middle and opened it up like hot dog bun and put it in there. And then taped all that up and then wrapped it. I double bubbled, small bubble wrap first and then large bubble wrap. And then nestled it in that box with some packing peanuts. And then I'll put the noodles in the corners like that, and a lot of even my heavier stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I like that triangle, the cardboard triangle, because I don't necessarily want to use all my pool noodles for shock absorption if I don't have to.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about Thor and my dad and me and others of you, and where you should get to if you're new, you should not have any fear of shipping. And that's probably one of the biggest fears. But you should get to the point where, like Thor and me and my dad are, that it doesn't matter what's sold. I just go out there and I can rebrand a box, recreate a box, figure like, oh, I've never shipped a 2-foot bottle with a long swingly neck. I don't sweat it. I don't like, oh my God. No, I just take what I know and I apply it to a new thing. And then I figure out, okay, is this also now worthy of showing other people? Like, are a lot of people going to find long neck Dr. Pepper bottles? And should we be talking about this on the general basis? So you hopefully should get to that point. Everybody who ships should get to the point where you have all these supplies laying around and just go out there and knock it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, see, now I'm on the hunt for another long nut stretch bottle so I can make a video.
Yeah. There you
Well,
go.
no, it's the same. It's like those really beautiful like Blanco vases or
Yes,
whatever the
Blanco,
glass
yes,
vases.
yes.
You could do the same type of a thing with.
Exactly.
So that's why we try to do videos of various items, because you can at least look at it and go, okay, I have this. It's sort of like this. Yeah, we have a whole bunch more to go up, Jason, but we're working on our intro music and our exit music and all those things that you gave us.
Yeah. So here's the first tip I gave them. They're like, hey, we're doing videos. Can we put them in the group? I'm like, oh, absolutely. Or let me see it first. Sadly, I've had to decline a few people where like everyone would get seasick if they watched it. So I watched your first one, and then they go, all right, we're going to put up 3 more. I'm like, whoa, you can't overexpose the new clientele to you. You're like, wait a minute, didn't I just watch this video? Oh wait, there's two more, there's three more. Oh my god. Yeah, you gotta, introduce, let it marinate a moment, and then bring out something else. It would be great if someone tuned in right now. We don't say anything about what's on my head.
Yeah, there you go.
A new viewer to the show is like, what in the Becky's hair? My thing on my head. What is happening?
What kind of ding dang show is this?
I'm like the donkey with a carrot.
We're also trying to put a picture of the item so that way, because visual is better than the words, in my opinion. So if you see what's there, like with the tiki mug, that's exactly what's being done.
Yeah, I mean, because people learn, they learn visually, they want to read it, they want to see it, and then they want to do it. I'm all three of those things. So.
All right, since I got this back up here, let's knock the show out with your duds and your scores, and we'll start with the duds and we'll work our way up to good scores.
So the sandbags, now you have to understand that price-wise, we buy almost everything in bulk from estate sales on the last day. So we basically will average out our price for the entire year on what we've spent and how many items we've got. So typically we're into things for
about 20 cents.
About 20 cents. Because we know our estate sale people and we work with them. But these I got in an online auction a couple years ago, and I had 4 of them listed. And 3 of them sold right away. I don't know why they didn't buy 4. I shipped 3 of them out, no problem. Somebody bought this one a week ago, and they opened it up and started filling them with sand, and they kept ripping. These were brand new sealed boxes. I had no idea they were going to be defective. So we just refunded and told her to, use the ones she can. Don't send it back because I'm not going to pay another, $13 to have it sent back to throw it away. So that was kind of the last one was kind of a dud.
Yeah.
I've told the story before, but when I was filming Thrift Hunters, they need sandbags to hold like the lights and stuff down when they're doing these shots outdoors. And so instead of paying money to travel with sand, they handed the crew like a box of this and said, oh, Jason lives in Las Vegas. Just go out in the desert and get sand. Well, and they didn't know that the desert here is just rock. It's not sand. And so when they asked me, I go, oh, we don't have sand here. We just have hard rock ground and some dirt rolling around. And they're like, oh. So they had to go to like Home Depot to buy sand. But I'm like, everyone thinks we live in the desert, which we do, but it ain't like the Sahara.
Yeah.
So this basket, we listed this. I don't know how long ago we listed this, but we listed it before USPS went to their cubic crap. So we ended up paying a little extra in shipping. We didn't end up making much on it because the box ended up being bigger. So kind of made it a dud. But, when you're into it for 20 cents, it's not a huge deal. Though it did get to her in time. It went down the coast of California.
Nice.
Now, we don't have no Joshua trees in Vegas. We are just rock and dirt, and that's it.
Yeah.
It is not an exciting desert. And we get down to Phoenix, much better desert. But here it's...
Well, you have the red rock out
Yeah,
there.
but that's like one little corner that is picturesque.
Yeah,
the rest is just like, yuck.
So this, we've done really
here's your
well.
scores now. Da, 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 da.
We've done really well with Fostoria American, which is this particular pattern. So we had an estate sale come up where they had a whole bunch of this. And so we went the first day, which we rarely do. And trust me, she was shocked to see us there the first day. We paid $20 for this because I knew it would sell. We had it listed for $150, accepted an offer of $135. No flaws at all. We ended up going back. We bought a few pieces the first day. We went back the last day and got the rest of it for really, really cheap because nobody else had bought it.
Nice.
But these cake stands, we do have a video of this that we will put up.
Nice.
And thanks everyone for subscribing.
Yeah, black on pure glass things like this is the only background. I don't care what Google says. I don't care what eBay says. Black is the background that shows us off. But I would recommend, this would have been a good item to have a quick video of it just rotating.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. That's one of those things. I need to go get something that...
I'm going to pull you into doing that. I'm going to pull you in.
Yeah.
Because you've got this gorgeous stuff.
Slow.
And a quick 20-second video really helps sell it.
I need to get one of those ones that just does it for you so you can just hold the camera while it rotates.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yep.
rotating.
Yeah,
They're actually They're actually pretty cheap on Amazon right now.
You can go for this one.
So we went to an estate sale last day, and it was free.
By the time we got there.
Yeah, by the time we got there, everything left was free. And out in the garage, on your way out, there were these 4 boxes of magazines. And I saw Playboys, which is like cool.
1960s Playboys.
Yeah. So I've got 4 boxes of free magazines. I just pack them up. They're free, right? If I get home and they're trash, I just put them in recycling. These magazines were in there. They're called Overdrive. So be on the lookout for this. Be on the lookout for Overdrive magazine. We had 4 of them up, and this guy contacted us and wanted to make a special listing. And we ended up giving him 3 magazines for $80 or 4
five
magazines for $80 that we had gotten for free. And the rest of them go up for anywhere from $10 to $50. Yeah, $10 to $50.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something I've never seen before.
Yeah, this is a trucking magazine, the American Trucker. That's
awesome.
That's what these are. And we didn't know, so we just looked them up because we thought, well, they're free, so let's see if they sell.
And
they do. So playbills. I bought at an auction a couple years ago 2 boxes of playbills for maybe $50 for all of them. I still have 2 stacks of them to list. Actually, I kind of made a note here about these. The Dream Girls, I mean, this is probably one of the most I got for one. I've sold in the past 3 months 16 playbills for $150. So, and oftentimes we had 2. So whoever went to all these shows had 2 people. We sold this one for $20, and a week later we sold the second Dream Girls one for $18. Now, not all of them sell for that. Some of them sell for $6, but this one was a pretty good one.
And one of the neat things about this ephemera is even though they don't want necessarily the show, some of the ads in these old magazines, they go for that like crazy. There's things from Crazy Eddie's in some of these, if you guys know who Crazy Eddie was.
Carlton Smokes.
Yeah.
Carlton Smokes, yep.
Yeah, and they were all the way from, we had some in the 2000s, but some of them went all the way back to the 1960s.
So,
wow.
No.
There you go, John. Look at that. Overdrive was always in the house.
I never heard until you showed me that. I never even heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sell them if you still got them. I love selling patterns. I absolutely love selling patterns. This one I just thought was, I mean, we got $20 for this particular one, but basically, stuffed heads on a wall in nurseries, I guess, if you're a hunter. So I went to an estate sale. This is the same person that we go to a lot of hers. The last day she was a sewer, and I paid $50 for probably 500 patterns.
Wow.
The ones that nobody else had bought.
Wow.
And, the Overdrive magazines. The Overdrive, we look them up each individually. We have them listed anywhere from $10 to $50. If they weren't as good of sellers as those are, if we had an entire year of them, we probably would have listed them as a lot. But we did the Overdrives all single. So patterns, as just for those of you who don't sell patterns, I've sold 35 patterns for $260 in the last 3 months, which averages to $7.50, and I never pay more than $1 a pattern.
Very cool.
Typically at 50 cents or less. Somebody asked if we put up $6 magazines or lock them up. It really depends on the magazine.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends on the magazine. Yeah. We have some in this lot that we got from the garage. It was we have a couple Time magazines, which were like the Star Wars, when the Star Wars movies came out. So we're going to put those together.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to end on this question. It was kind of a 2-parter. I can't find the first part. So Debbie said, where do you store 8,000 items?
I will have to do a video of that for you, Debbie, and walk you around my storage area. I can add that to my...
Where most people have a 2-car garage, we have inventory.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of tied into that, when you grab stuff at the end of the estate sales, are you bringing it home and sorting it out? Are you just tubbing it and throwing it in the corner until later? Or...
Well, we do have a bit of, if COVID came back and all the stores closed, we would be fine. As to the point where I am probably going to have that, somebody was talking about $1 garage sale. I'm probably going to filter through a lot more of my inventory and try to have purge some of it that way. And I hate really doing clothes, and I have a lot of clothes laying around.
We've been trying to bring it home and process through it.
Yeah, we bring it home and process through it. And then I tell Thor there's an estate sale next weekend that we really need to go to, which we really don't need to go to. And then I'll bring that. But we've also been getting a lot of free stuff. I have a friend who's moving, and she's giving me like all of this.
Oh, geez. Nice.
GameCube and the GameCube. I have that sitting around here somewhere too.
Really?
So we've made a deal with her to basically she shops for free and gives me stuff.
There you go.
That way I don't have to pay her later.
She is amazingly crafty. For anybody out there who likes purses, she makes purses. And so we have some really cool custom purses that we're putting up for her. She loves crafting. She hates selling.
So
it's like,
my store has a Julie Risto category if you want to look at her purses.
Cool.
Patterns are about the easiest darn thing to list. You can get 4 pictures, and if they're still folded. I do sell cut patterns. I just make sure I count them all. And then I list in the listing what size it's cut to. And there are people out there who prefer to buy them cut because they don't want to have to cut the stupid things. So
build templates, guys. Templates will save your lives when you go to list.
So Debbie, just FYI, we live in a 2-story house. 3 of the 4 kids have now moved out. So Miss Mallory is the only one living at home. Our entire downstairs is eBay.
Wow.
And then do any of your kids do eBay? Obviously the ones that have moved out.
No, most of they will bring me stuff. My number 1 daughter, the one that just dropped Miss Mallory off, they give us stuff. They just moved into a new apartment. I said, just bring me all of it first. I will sort through it and then take to the Goodwill or whatnot, anything that I don't think will sell. My granddaughter's stuff, if she sells something, we give her the profit from it. So she saved up enough money to buy a Barbie dream home. She's 7.5.
Aww.
So we keep enough to cover the fees for her, but we will sell her stuff for her. My number 2 daughter, they bring us stuff. They dug an old brown bleach bottle out of the river in the back of their yard, and they brought it to us, and we cleaned it up, though it still had caked on dirt. And we sold that for $20. So
nice.
And they dug it out of the river.
Nice.
But no, none of them do. My son-in-law, my oldest daughter's husband, drafts for us. He stays home with their son while she works, and so he drafts, and we pay him per draft.
We've invited them to step up, if they want to. But
they're not interested.
They're not interested.
Miss Mallory helps us, though. Miss Mallory has Down syndrome and pretty much is nonverbal. So what we do for her is she'll sit over here with the scale, and Thor printed out these for her.
Awesome.
And so she'll put it on the scale, and then she'll write it in. And then when we need it, she'll hold it up for us to read.
This is how much it weighs. Yep.
That's awesome.
Becky can only get her cat to do that. Then
he refuses. He's like, I'm the supervisor. The supervisor doesn't do squat.
All right. So Debbie wanted to make sure everyone knew what the spelling of your YouTube channel is. We got some more subscribers. So when you're done here today or tomorrow, whenever you're sitting around shipping some stuff, watch all these videos. They're very good and very
we have
insightful.
Several more to go up. Yep. And I'm glad you got your tiki mug safely.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I don't think I probably thanked you, but yes, thank you very much for picking that up for me. Thanks for shipping. Thanks for being on the show so we can talk about it and see it in action, putting it together, pulling it out. This will be a crown jewel of our collection because
we're happy to do it for you, Jason.
Yeah. And I didn't win the other one. I would have let you know if I did.
Oh, yeah, I tried to. I mean, not only do I love the bar, I've been friends with the owner since before he owned a bar, and I loved the manufacturer of Antiki. So it's just a win-win-win all the way around. Mm-hmm. But the cool thing is about all this, I'll see you guys for lunch in about 5 weeks.
Yeah. Yes. And we do take requests. So if there's something you want to see packaged, even if it's not glass. If you want something, just let us know and we'll do our best to do a video of it for you.
Hi, Thor and Melissa. How do you package a dead body? And with that, I will say thank you all very much.
That's
Bye,
my
Aurora.
expertise.
Thank you, Thor. Thank you,
Thanks,
Melissa.
guys. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks, Becky. Good to see
Thanks,
everybody.
Becky.
Have a wonderful night. Don't forget, next week, we'll see what Mom dug out of her old neighbor's attic. Between now and next Sunday, ask your neighbor, what's in your attic?
What's in your attic? It's the body.